So a historic presidential election is being held in Mexico. Historic because it's either one of the if either one of the front runners wins, I say that 6 times, the next Mexican president will be a woman.
In an election that has been seriously marred by violence and drought, could Claudia Sheinbaum, a Jewish former environmental engineer and former mayor of Mexico City, be the next person to lead this country? Or will it be Xochitl Galvez, the opposition presidential candidate, a former tech entrepreneur and senator?
Our Matt Rivers is in Mexico City. Matt, I mean, this has been fascinating to watch. How did Mexico get to this historical race between 2 women? I mean, one of them Jewish, the other from indigenous roots.
You know, you could say about both of these women that it's about, I won't use the expletive, time. Given Mexico's long history, both on the indigenous side, you know, so much of Mexico's population comes from indigenous roots. And on the other side, even though the Jewish population is much smaller here, Claudia Sheinbaum is a longtime person in politics. She's been around for a long time. She was the mayor of Mexico City. And yet Mexico's historically has been dominated by this patriarchal system of governance. That will no longer be the case. One of those 2 women, even though there is a third-party candidate running, will be president, and in all likelihood it will be Claudia Sheinbaum. She used to be the mayor of Mexico City. She's a background of environmental engineer. She's more or less the hand-picked successor to the current president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador. And on the other hand, you have Xochitl Galvez, who was quite poor growing up. She even sold snacks on the street. She worked her way up to become an entrepreneur and then a senator, and now she's leading this coalition of center-right parties that really used to be the dominant force in Mexican politics, and now the only thing this coalition agrees on is defeating Claudia Sheinbaum.
Matt, a little while ago, you sent an internal note around to all of us at ABC outlining and describing in grim detail the violence that has surrounded these elections. Talk about that, what authorities can do, can't do to preserve some kind of stability on election day so that people can go vote.
Yeah, this has been, so far, the most violent election cycle in Mexican in modern history. And that's saying something, given the grip that organized crime has on this country. And yet the numbers that we're seeing going back to the beginning of the election cycle last year up until today are pretty staggering. More than 700 people have been targeted, whether it's through threats, whether it's through assault, or whether it's through murders. 231 people have been killed during election violence, including 34 candidates. So it is a staggeringly violent election season here in Mexico, the kind of thing that, frankly, you don't see often in the democratic world. And the reason behind it is organized crime, by and large. They are looking to exert influence principally on the municipal level. And if candidates stand in their way, or if they feel that killing a candidate or an elected official could serve their ways in a different criminal enterprise, then they'll do that. So this is just Mexican elections in 2024.
Yeah, it's horrifying, really. And Matt, we're very glad that you're there to cover it for us and bring it to our attention. Matt Rivers, thanks very much.